Trying to get out. Is that the one's neck that's like...
Oh my god!
I was gonna bite it.
Just say that.
Let's see, this one is. Look, that's Whitney. His name is Whitney. We like that.
One of them.
Where?
Coming out of the door.
What if someone just ran
Look at
animated did that? Oh, look, I learned to eat that.
I'm like totally in the way.
Welcome to the aquarium and welcome to our penguin feed this afternoon. My name's Megan. I'm one of the educators here, and I'm all the way over here on the left side of the exhibit. But I'm going to talk to you guys about the penguins in just a couple minutes. But before everything gets started, we're going to check in with Tom and the very noisy penguins.
They are being loud. Can you all hear them? Thank you, Megan. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the aquarium, and thanks for coming. And hello to Camp Tiger. I love you guys. Y'all are coming here for years. We've been watching you for years. Welcome to the aquarium. I hope you're having a good time. Go Camp Tiger. We are going to feed these penguins in just a minute. We're going to get them fish, of course. Today they're getting 3 different kinds. This first big one is a herring. I think most people are familiar with herring. These birds actually get to eat herring once a year in the wild. A slightly different species, but the herring migrates around the southern tip of the continent of Africa, and that's where you would find these penguins living in the wild. We give them there's something going on up there. I don't know. This is a little fingerling rainbow trout. Rainbow trout is a freshwater fish. All penguins live in the ocean. No wild penguin is ever going to eat a rainbow trout. But these are very good for them. They really like them. And we get ours farm raised, so we don't have to touch any wild population, and we can determine what size we want. They'll probably never seen a rainbow trout that small. The third fish we give them makes up the bulk of their diet. This fish is called Cleveland. And I this fish. I don't see this bird just trying to pull my pants off. Cleveland is another fish. No wild penguins are going to eat. Cleveland comes from the North Atlantic. All penguins live in the southern half of the world. But once again, very good for them. They really like them. These are very plentiful and sustainably fished. And it's also very similar to what these birds do eat in the wild. We do not feed them that, and there's a very good reason for it. The main diet of wild African penguins is a fish called the Cape anchovy. I think most people have heard of anchovies. I like anchovies, that's not a problem. The problem is countries from all over the world sending giant industrialized fishing vessels all the way to South Africa, and they just about wiped out the Cape anchovy. That's 80% of what these guys eat, so now they're in a lot of trouble. These birds are critically endangered. The reason for that is they track the wild populations very closely, and in just 10 years, from 2000 to 2010, the wild population of these birds have fallen by 70%.
Yes.
Almost 3/4 of them gone in just 10 years. Now the numbers are still not great, but they are. There are some amazing groups and individuals both in South Africa and around the world, including us, Audubon, and we are working very hard to hopefully reverse that trend. Now we do what's called a monitored feed. Whenever we feed in here, that's twice a day. There are 2 of us. We keep track of every single penguin and what it eats. So as I'm feeding, that's why Carolyn has a clipboard with all the birds' names on it. There are 20 penguins in here. As I'm feeding, I'm going to tell Carolyn the name of the penguin and what kind of fish I gave it. She keeps an exact score by its name. We do that to make sure everybody's healthy. Birds have a great defense mechanism. These guys that kill predators are seals and orcas and sharks. Now, Snapper here is not going to take on a shark. So his best bet, if he's sick, is to blend in with all the other birds. Because predators are usually looking for the easiest meal, an injured penguin, a penguin that's acting off, and they're going to zero in on that bird. So when birds get sick, they have the ability to just act like they are not, and they are very good at it. It's a defense mechanism. And that's great in the wild, but if I have a sick bird in here, I have to know about it now, and if I can't tell by looking at, some part of this bird, we go over their appetites very closely. That's how we keep track of their health. This thing, one of the birds is not eating them. It's so easy once you know the language. We have a bag in the building, and if one of the birds is not eating what it should be, we'll have her come down and look at the bird, and hopefully tell us what's wrong and how to fix it. Are you hungry? Is that what I know it's crowded. If you have any questions, if you can get them to Megan.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll be on about 15, 20 minutes. All right, here we go.
Let's get feeding.
Thank you, Tom. Guys, as he said, if you have any questions, I will be hanging out over here, pretty much right here, because while I like large crowds, my microphone doesn't. And if I move, sometimes it stops working. So any questions?
Yes, I can see him.
here.
He's being quiet.
Now, I also do have some cool things. If you guys want to check them out before you have it from the penguins. See, I moved. It doesn't like it. But I do have some penguin feathers over here if anybody wants to see what they feel like. And we have this nice little stuffed penguin that looks like our normal little stuffed toy. This one is full of sand though, so this weighs as much as your average adult African penguin does. So feel free to come on over and check out the feathers, pick this penguin up. I also have a copy of that feed sheet, if you're wondering what all the penguins' names are. I do have that list over here as well. I do have 20 birds in this exhibit, and they all are African penguins. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on while Tom was talking. You guys noticed
I'm just being
we
quiet,
have the
so
one penguin
she
kind
can
of in the
speak.
middle up top, sticking his head out of that boulder. That I believe is Tag, and that is his nest. Now here's the thing, they are very territorial about their nest, so he doesn't really want to let anyone pass. And also he and his mate Voodoo have decided that they don't need one nest, they need two. And so he also doesn't want to let anyone around his other nest, which is a bit further to the left. So he's been trying to stop everyone from going past him.
Okay.
Now we do sometimes have the penguins stay up from the feed, and sometimes it's to protect their nest. And other times it is to be the reason that you need to protect your nest. So these guys do like to steal from each other. We give them rocks to use in their nest. I know that doesn't sound like your normal bird nest material, but it makes sense for penguins because those rocks give them some natural drainage. So just kind of pile the rocks inside, and we'll give them piles of rocks to go and pick from, and they will walk right past them into their neighbor's nest to get whatever their neighbor has already picked. And then usually gets stolen back and goes back and forth for a while. And then there are also some penguins that, if I can find them, I'm going to point out to you guys.
Yeah, I agree. They are.
They do get the seasons here, so they we have those big skylights so that they get daylight cycles. But the thing is, these their seasons are opposite what they would get in wild since they are from the southern hemisphere. So like usually in November they'd be like molting and all that. That makes no sense for us because it's cold and they don't want to do that when it's cold. But for them, they're able to go ahead and go through their molt, get their nests going during the warmer months, and then here we usually get that in like March. Yeah, they switched to ours because it's the daylight is the main thing that triggers them.
Yeah.
I can't comment anything.
Yeah, they have three names that they're known by.
I cannot.
They're known by African penguins and black-footed penguins, and that one you said. So, we do have some penguins that are in here that I do want to point out to you guys.
Just try your best to
And
get
I
them.
can find him, or if Tom sees Elmer. Not seeing her yet, but also I know she's our petite penguin. Oh, you guys are normally more graceful than that. But I will talk to you guys about our two, and then if they show up, I'll be sure to point them out. They do have name tags on, so if anyone sees Elmer or Ernie, please let me know.
Okay, and there's
You guys see Elmer over there? Because Elmer is our youngest penguin, and Ernie is our oldest penguin. So Elmer is only 2 years old. She'll be turning 3 in August. And Ernie, on the other end of that, is 36 years old. I know that seems pretty old for a penguin, because that is pretty old for a penguin. Now, out in the wild, these guys would normally live about 10 to 12 years on average. And whenever they're under human care, which just means that they're living at a zoo or an aquarium or someplace like it where humans take care of them, then they usually live into about their mid to late 20s on average. Now, 36 is still a bit older than even mid to late 20s. But Ernie is just fine. Now, penguins do sometimes get cataracts as well as arthritis, and they get them out in the wild as well as at zoos and aquariums. The main thing is it would be a little bit harder for Ernie to be able to find his food or to get away from predators with the cataracts or the arthritis. But here he doesn't have to worry about either of those things. You guys can see the exhibit. There are no sharks, no seals, no killer whales, no predators for him.
take a little video.